I've been thinking a lot about ways to make maim faster, and unfortunately, I don't have too many ideas. One thing that would probably be pretty helpful is to move as much of this loop into a compiled language as I can. It may not even necessarily be that difficult, since I think Rust has the ability to call Python functions from Rust. So if it were possible to just have a Rust loop here, which I think will look something like this, and just have a, I don't even know how to make functions in Rust, but like fn, and then I were to pass the Python functions that I needed. So I'd have like, here the update to time, and then the render, etc. All of these. Then maybe it would be possible to just do the looping within Rust, but have all the same functions being called that are in Python. Possibly. Anyway, there's some failing tests in this GUI PR that I've been doing, so I guess I'll try to fix that first. And I don't know anything about those failures, so hopefully I can figure out something about that. Enable GUI must be Boolean. It's using a temp config. Maybe that's breaking something. Config.update temp. Maim config key. Just trying to set get attribute of maim config key. It's something to do with the temporary config. But I have no idea what. And temp config underscore config init. That's another aspect of maim which is unnecessarily difficult. The config is just, or not the config, well, partially the config. But the config and trying to add new flags is so difficult. KV for KV and temp.items of K and original. Let me try printing temp. I'll try to test this. Test Cairo render. Okay, so here it's set to none. Did I not default this to false? It's set to none. Did I not default this to false? Oh, wait. Let me open that again. Get rid of that print. So in default config, here I defaulted it to false. And if I go into CLI, was it global options? I guess you should default this to false. Let's see if that helps anything. Nope. Using temp config. It's doing this for each of them. What even is using temp config? And disabling caching. You have to figure out where it's getting those defaults. What's the file? Config __ net. Here, this is where I was doing config.update original. Original is config.copy, which means the config was initialized when it had none. So I look at where it's initialized. They stop going back to the same file. Was it here? Dang. I thought there was a way to scroll in this window. Oh, there we go. Okay, so utils is the one with the class. Okay, and this is putting the key in the none. Well, okay. And where does it change those to booleans or whatever? And I can use WebGL renderer. Is this where it needs to be? Try that. Okay, I guess that fixed it. But man, there's a lot of things to update in order to update a flag. Whoops. Anyway, I think that'll fix that. And then it'll be the next thing to do will be to figure out the text rendering thing. Which won't be such a big deal, except that I think the only sort of difficult thing is that the text rendering algorithm requires 2 renders, not just 1. sort of difficult thing is that the text rendering algorithm requires 2 renders, not just 1. So it doesn't fit into this function that well. You don't really create a mesh and then render it. Instead, you like render to a texture, read that texture, and then render again. So it doesn't really fit into this. Okay, but anyway, this works. Oh, I guess I don't need that default none, or I don't think so. I think that's everything I need. With that, I think I can push this and hopefully start to get this merged. Starts at the bottom. Calling the GUI test without specifying the scene. Cause the GUI not to appear. It's probably something I should fix. The location, I might end up not fixing just because adding flags is that difficult. What would I even want it to do? Probably not there, but here. Yeah, it has this X position, Y position within height, and that could be configurable with a flag. But I really don't want to add another flag. It's probably fixable. Playing a GUI scene without the preview flag causes the GUI to appear. This is probably fine. It'd be nice if the scene rendered in a fixed window at a certain position on the screen. Off the side. Is the camera not in a fixed position already? Which one is this? The text example? I don't even have this example. GUI can be placed below the preview window. Opening mana example. Do we even have these examples? Where did the text example come from? Basic, advanced tech fonts, custom tech, OpenGL. I'll just do one of the OpenGL ones. So I do this and I do I don't even know where the ones that grant at it are. Like, where's the surf? I guess the surface example is here. Oh, I need the... Oh. I'm not sure if this is something related to this. Rendering a scene at full quality causes it to be off the side. So this is at full quality. Should I doing the interactive development example? Can I like continue this or something? How do I make this? I just close that. Comment that. I get the feeling that that problem is not related to this PR. GUI starts at the bottom of the window and resets to this position. This one's probably more important. Calling it without specifying the scene cause the GUI to not appear. Although, did this even happen with me? So here I'm gonna do medium quality. So now if I do the GUI test, yeah, it does. It is not appearing. Although actually now I need the, like, this flag. Scene names. Default value is scene names at 0. And that's out of range. Okay. Selected scene, and this is using the scene names. So I guess the question is, why isn't the scene name being put into the config when you do it this way? Use comma separated list. Guess I'll just search for that. Prompt user for choice. It'll get this. Console.printf. Count colon. Okay, so this is where it's printing those out. It prints this. So it's getting user input here. Num to class. It's out. it prints this. So it's getting user input here, num to class. Okay, so it's getting this, but it isn't actually filling in the config. So I guess that num to class, is that a string? Well, the class is probably scene class. No, I think this is a string. So maybe all I have to do is say config at scene names. Oh wait, but this could be multiple things. Num to class indexed at int of num string. I think I just want to say config at scene names equals this. Let's see what's in prompt user for choice. Since doing scene classes at 0, else it's doing this. If len is scene class, maybe what I want here is if the length of scene class equals 1, then you can return this. Else. Well, I guess we won't need the else. And then the other case, say scene classes. Although I think these are strings. Num to class. I guess I call this scene names equals this. I can say config at scene names equals that. And then return it. Same thing. Well, maybe it's not the same thing. Return the result with an error set. Okay, maybe it wasn't a string. I'm gonna undo this. I'm just going to print this out. See what's getting logged here. Okay, so that's not a string. So what I would want to do is say, I'm gonna get scene names. And here I want like stir of this. Either, I actually thought that underscore underscore name. Oh, what it's putting in num to class isn't the name. So I guess I could do name class dot name. Call this scene classes. Call this scene classes. And return the scene classes. Great. Okay, so I fixed that. Playing a GUI scene without the preview flag causes the GUI to appear. Okay, so I fixed that. Playing a GUI scene without the preview flag causes the GUI to appear. The P flag should automatically be included when using the GUI. Well, conceptually, that's really simple. As for how to actually do that, I'm sure it's a nightmare. Preview. I guess it's possible to make it so that when you do a lookup, it'll return preview or enable GUI. I think that's possible. Do we do that for some of these? I know for dry run, it's like an and of a bunch of things. Yeah, here. What class is this? It's a digest args. It's for maim config. Okay, I'm just gonna do this or let's do it like that. Flag and GUI scene without the preview flag. So now I'll try this and not have the preview flag. Okay, and now it's automatically bringing that up. And I guess if I put in GUI test here, GUI test 2. Same story, so that's great. Okay. Now, it is... I don't know if I actually care enough to fix this. Resets to this position every time the scene is changed. It's probably not super difficult. But adding flags is just so difficult in maim. And this would have to be like... I guess I'd have to pass a tuple. Aqua beam, what's going on? I was just talking about how... Wait, hold on. I was just talking about how this problem probably wouldn't be so bad to fix if you could just pass a flag that controlled the initial position. However, adding flags to maim is really, really annoying. And it's so annoying that I'm seriously considering not fixing this problem just because adding flags is that difficult. Not because it's hard to solve, but because adding flags is really, really hard. Have you ever added a flag to maim before? guess it wouldn't be so bad, but I don't know how to add a tuple flag. Haven't done it before. Well, you are lucky.